In honor of National Chicken Sandwich Day, let's talk about this little love triangle you found yourself in. Oh, seven of hedgehogs. You're trying to keep it a little secret. You're trying to be chill about it. The spirit in alignment with our hearts. What does our collective need to hear? The seven of it popped out again. So it's something that you're kind of like holding close to the chest. It might also be a bit like subversive. Like there might not even be love happening in a traditional sense in this energy. It feels like you might have put a lot of things to bed in a way where you're kind of hoping like you might be able to dig that shit up later and see what pops. I'm also seeing like with this little only one hedgehog in the center is a different color, and like two of them have their eyes open. So I see you as like that little sleepy green hedgehog, the center of this polycule of madness, and of the two of the people that you've kind of put to bed are like, just say the fucking word. I feel like that word would have to also come with an apology though, because these were some painful endings. What else, Spirit? Justice. It feels like those painful endings allowed for balance to be kind of created. Yeah, I think in the past you kind of like moved very quickly through these connections and you missed a few steps. And so you found yourself kind of like drowning in the passion of it all, but with like not very sturdy foundation. And so when things kind of like came to that like abrupt end, it like kind of forced y'all to like reflect on like what actually went wrong there, and maybe in the process also examine the things that were going right. I'm just feeling in the energy that like no matter how it ended, who is blocked, unblocked, written out of memory, y'all keep an eye on each other, either energetically or through through other means. Ace of hedgehogs. You're looking for an opportunity to present some kind of truth. Well, not truth. I know ace of, that's more of like an ace of swords thing, but I'm thinking of a truth that would I'm getting the word embed, which seems like a pun if you know you know what I'm talking about. But that would embed a sense of stronger security. Dude, my spirit team is funny as fuck. I'm not explaining the joke. I got more cards in my hands. I'm just like, hold on. I'm like trying to be still with it. I keep getting this promise on the wind. I like wrote a poem about it. I need to put that on my in my Ko-fi shop. But there's like this promise that was never caught. Like I think there's like some kind of like, even though you're two people in a relationship, I don't think you committed to each other, but you committed to yourself to honor the connection. And so you're really trying to stand on that as a sign of respect to yourself more so than respecting another person. Because honestly, I'm getting a little bit of an egoic energy where it's like, I don't really care about other people. But I care about like how I showed up, right? And how you showed up was like in a very like unbalanced way in the past, and that's kind of like highlighting this like desire to kind of come back as a more grounded version of yourself. um Hierophant in reverse underneath the Chariot is giving that like there were a lot of lies said, and like, or not even lies, but I would say like variations of the truth that weren't really rooted in your truth. And with the World popping up underneath Justice, it's seeming like there was balance found in going through the Fool's Journey. And now that you've kind of reached a place of contentment in your personal journey, it's like that meme of Aaron Hansen from Game Grumps. Do it again. Run me that shit back. You're feeling lucky about it. Like, I think that, and it doesn't even feel like for some of these people that you've left, it does feel like a little delusional that you think that there's going to be any chance with them. But like, if one or two of them who I feel like you got to know, or who got to know you on a more intimate level, there's like this understanding of like, we banked so much motherfucking intimacy and bullshit into this that if we don't pick this up, I can't like tolerate the time wasted. And I think there's an understanding that the level of the investment that you made, it's gotta pay off some fucking way, right? Some fucking way. And so there's this kind of like impulsive drive to like pick it up, even though you're not entirely sure what that looks like. Like, I feel like there's so much that's kind of like blocked from the connection. Page of Spears, yeah, a lot of silence too. I think what might have been a lot of communication dwindled down to practically nothing. A 10 of Teacups in reverse, so it's like, I feel like you gave each other everything that you each said that you wanted, and then upon further reflection you were like, this shit whack. I don't know, I want something else. And so it required a standing in emotionality with a bit of enough detachment to actually experience all of the emotions and to gather power from them. One practice I've been working on is allowing myself to hold an emotion for longer and longer and longer periods of time before I react to it, to kind of like get a little bit more strength from that. It seems like a similar practice has gone down here. 6 of Spears, and it required a lot of detachment. It might have, with the World coming out and the Chariot, it might require physical movement to really get the space you needed to like explore. Yeah, because there was like simply like the love was there, but the love was not healthy. The love was not toxic. It was deeply committed bullshit. And it's like one of those things where, try as you might, like there's like a certain pull that would keep you tethered to this person, whether or not it might seem wise. I think there's just, mostly because they're fun. You have a shit ton of fun with these people. And so I'll be real with you. I forgot about the chicken sandwich thing. But this energy applies to both of these energies. There might be even a potentiality that these people are have the same soul, or might have shared they might have shared a past life, and they are presenting to you now in two different energies, because time isn't linear. It's like a lot of the readings you might be getting, and you're like trying to figure out which fucking person is this, is because at one particular time they were the same person. They've definitely had different experiences in this lifetime. But when I'm reading for this like love triangle, it's very difficult, because quite frankly, they're really similar. Damn near the same. And it's like, it comes down to that thing. It's like, oh yeah, you gotta type, and you gotta type bad, bro. Empress. I don't know if I was showing you these cards. The Six of Wands. Let's go, bitch. Page of Flowers. Let's go, bitch. And the Knight of Teacups in reverse. So it's kind of interesting. The fact that you aren't like super emotional about this, and you're just kind of like going with the flow, is having you show up really well, and like it's giving you a good reputation. You're coming up as the Empress because you're just like, all right, you could do whatever, I'm gonna move around it, I got it. If I need to, I can behead whatever motherfucker I want. So just be easy, bro. Like, go, like it's giving be free. Do what you want. And it is a level of detachment that, as a Knight of Teacups coming in reverse, might border on concerning. Like, like if you see yourself in this Empress role, you might want to consider some type of self-help option to make sure that you don't slip into a level of detachment that is unhealthy. But I'm getting the energy that even if you did, people would low-key fuck with it. So, like, more of a reason to, like, find this grounding to approach these relationships with. Eight of Spears and the Queen of Spears in reverse. I think what tends to happen, though, is that, like, you get kind of, like, in your head, and when you do that, you kind of, like, quiet down. And to the people around you, yes, it's giving off, like, oh, this is a detached goddess who does whatever she wants, but to you it's kind of like a tower moment. And you're like, I used to have feelings, where have they gone? Where have they gone? So this to better kind of like approach the situation and find grounding, ironically, you're gonna have to look into ways to more deeply identify with your emotional world, and kind of transform it from your past experience where it might have been like more of a trauma dump, and make it more into like a trauma hump. You know what I'm saying? Like, transform that energy into like a chill new vibe that everybody wants to suck on. Or I think the more that you pursue your own personal desires with intentionality, um, the more easily you'll figure out how to approach this situation. I think you're not really being tasked with being like a hard ass or having all the answers. Um, you should just continue to move forward and just continue to speak from a place of acknowledgement of your own world, and just kind of accept that there are certain mysteries that you just do not have the capacity to speak to, and that would be unwise to speak to. Page of Hedgehogs and the Four of Spears in reverse. Yeah, so it's saying that now is the time to just like start to work towards um, mending these connections and building into these connections. Your power comes from the way that you speak. Your grounding comes from the air element of communication, of magic, of breath, of your mind, right? But it's saying that the Six of Cups in reverse and the Ten of Cups in reverse, there are certain like attitudes and energies that you do need to just kind of like mentally separate from. Don't get too caught into certain traps. And unfortunately, there's a level of discernment that will kind of tell you when you need to back away from something. And I think the biggest part is listening to that voice when it is time, and not like forcing the separation out of fear. So, what I'm getting is that like there's gonna be a level of pursuing um, your own path, your own connection, and the way that this energy of these people who are interested in you is going to present itself. You're going to find yourself in opportunities where you can nourish those connections again, where you can speak to those connections, and where you can grow those connections in a healthy, grounded, and emotional way. And you'll know when it's time to separate from them, but just don't separate from things just off of the feeling that you feel like you need to just separate from stuff. It's gonna be like a balance thing, and like as you get more information, and as you like more things are illuminated to you on your path of self-discovery, it'll bring more balance into all the other areas of your life. Ten of Flowers and the Nine of Wands in reverse. It's heavy fucking work, but I think it's gotten a lot easier for you to realize that you don't have to defend against everything. As the like wounded warrior, um, you know which battles you have to face, and you don't have to stand in like attack mode or defense mode all the time. You can just chill in the deck on some Yu-Gi-Oh shit. Temptation. And what else? The Eight of Cups. Yeah, you are deeply tempted to just leave shit for no good reason. So you might have to challenge that. Four of Cups in reverse with the Seven of Spears in reverse. Yeah, this is reading as like being slightly more vulnerable and a little bit more accepting of the offers that you receive, knowing that like as the Empress, you'll be able to navigate any kind of deception should it arise. But I think moving from the perspective that everything is, I mean, like, I'm paranoid, so I always move from the perspective that everything might be a little deceptive, but I don't think you should sacrifice um, your joy, your contentment, your fulfillment, your emotions off the offer up chance that someone is surveilling you. Nine of Spheres and the mystery, yeah, like the thing about anxieties is that you cannot ground them, and they're a lot of them are irrational and unprovable. So you just kind of like have to appreciate that they're going to be a constant on your journey, and remember that you are in the most shining, most beautiful energy when you're giving. So your spirit team is going to create contingencies for you. You don't have to be in like weirdo, like they're coming to get me vibes. They're coming. I know I see them. They're coming to get me. Oh, this is Seven of Cups again. Yeah, I don't know who it is, but they're coming to get me. That's not super helpful. Yeah, temperance with it can make you really unbalanced, especially like with the level of power that you have. Moving from an imbalanced energy can be very dangerous and destructive to yourself and the people around you. And it prevents like true connection from coming in. So I think you just kind of have to um, just accept that like the person you like is like on some like on some butch queen bullshit. Yeah, that's they're on a little butch queen bullshit. I think you're gonna have to come to the understanding that that's what you like, and so you just have to boss up and accept that. I've got the Eight of Wands in reverse and the Eight of Hedgehogs in reverse. That you're not going to get anything out of any of your connections unless you put work into it. So, yeah, you've got to like put down all your lifetime of burdens and lay down all the weird judgment that you have towards these situations. Seven of Wands in reverse and Five of Wands in reverse. Like, literally lay down your arms, bro. I mean that, like, not like, but maybe. I don't know how that resonates for you. Because I'm getting that, like, this, like, brash, like, fiery way that you're approaching stuff is, like, kind of leaving you alone in the fucking pit. And in the past, you know, being a more emotional creature kind of left you high and dry, but like that very much is the past. We've gone through the whole deck, chat. Five of Spears in reverse. Yeah, you're not gonna... I'm getting that I'm getting a couple of things. I'm getting that you'll have an unconventional victory if you can learn to master your silence. So that's a lot of different messages. I'll be so real with you. And it seems like a lot for like a love triangle situation. Your relationships must be very complicated. I'm so sorry. I know most of the love triangles like, just go for that cute one. This one's like, you need to encounter. You need to encounter your own depths and rise to the challenge and offer him a cup of your blood with your heart still beating inside. And then you'll be fine. Easy. 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 And then we'll see how many boyfriends you get at the end of that. What, like it's hard? What, like polyamory is hard? Like what, like having a relationship is hard? Like liking multiple people is difficult? No, that's easy, bro. That's why we went through 78 cards. Because this stuff is simple. If you need more help, feel free to book a reading from me. Or you can get a Reiki session. I've got a bunch of other socials and services that is in the link in my bio or underneath this video on YouTube. Good luck, bro.